Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to a Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes rumor roundup video. We still know very little about Hideo Kojima's next project. All we have is the footage revealed at PAX, but from that we can still extract a good amount of information. For those who don't know what Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is, it is essentially Hideo Kojima's next Metal Gear project. The reason the game isn't numbered is because it is a prologue to Metal Gear Solid 5. But that won't stop it from being a full-fledged Metal Gear Solid game. It'll tell the story of Big Boss and will likely bridge Naked Snake's story with Solid Snake's. Anyways, let's talk about the footage. First things first, the graphics are freaking insane. When the footage makes the transition into gameplay, I just about jizzed my pants. I'm not going to talk about the graphics anymore, you can see for yourself. Now there's a lot of information here that reveals tons about the game. First of all, the game is definitely a sequel to Peace Walker and a prequel to Metal Gear Solid 1. What gave it away? Well, we have the logo that Snake wears on one of his shoulders, which is from Peace Walker. We have Snake looking less like Old Snake and more like Old Big Boss we've seen in other games. They mentioned Paz, a character from Peace Walker. They mentioned Chico. There's just no doubt about it. Ground Zeroes will likely link Big Boss's saga with Solid Snake's, so a bridge between Snake Eater or Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 1. And while not confirmed, I am almost sure it's going to be an origin story for the modern day Snakes, and if not, Metal Gear Solid 5 will take that on while Ground Zeroes sets up the story, since it is, after all, a prologue. I think that's one of the reasons why the word Zeroes is in the title, like this is Metal Gear Solid number 0, but plural because we're gonna see the origin of the various snakes, so Zeroes. Now let's talk about what was revealed in terms of story here. Keep in mind that I still have not played Peace Walker, which I'll get on soon, so I won't be as knowledgeable in terms of story as some of you may be. First up, we have someone who is rumored to be Zero, although that isn't 100% confirmed. The speculation comes from the XOF logos and some of the things he says. I have my doubts about this. I recently finished playing through Metal Gear Solid 4, and when, spoiler warning, Major Zero makes an appearance at the end, his face was nowhere near as deformed. But then again, technology has advanced a lot, so maybe his face got repaired at some point. Next up, let's talk about the boy in the cage. This kid could be Chico, mentioned by the dialogue. I don't know much about him because he is a Peace Walker character, but what's weird is that if this game takes place a good amount of time after Peace Walker, then Chico should look older, but he looks about the same age compared to the screenshots I've seen for Peace Walker. So my second guess for this kid is that he is Raiden. If you have any other guesses, let me know, but my money is either on Raiden or Chico, but I'm leaning more towards Chico. Soon after, dialogue begins between Zero and Snake, and they mention Chico along with Paz and the Cypher. Again, I did not play Peace Walker yet, so I don't know too much about Paz, but I do know she was an agent of the Cypher. Cypher being another word for the Patriots or Lali Lule Lo. Zero, along with Big Boss, was also one of the founding fathers of the Cypher, and the way he says our friends at the Cypher definitely points to Zero making an appearance in some way, but we still don't know if Zero is actually that guy with a deformed face. You know, instead of calling him that guy with a deformed face, I think I'm gonna call him Harvey One Face for short. Yeah, that works. We also hear these two talking about the Mother Base, the central hub and base of operations for Big Boss and Peace Walker. In the Mother Base, recruitment and management took place. It was also where Metal Gear Zeke resided, which players could modify to essentially create their own Metal Gear in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. One element we constantly see in this video is XOF, which is Fox reversed. What it is, what it means, how it's tied to Fox, all of that is still unfortunately unknown. But we do also see the Fox logo at some point, the one seen on Snake's shoulder as he carries out his mission as discussed in the previous dialogue. Notice the quote from Fox, "Two phantoms were born," which gives further evidence that Ground Zeroes will tie somehow Big Boss's storyline with that of the twin Snakes. Now, during this scene, notice how Zero says that Snake should be back at the Mother Base in time for lunch. This could possibly mean that the Mother Base will make a return as the central hub of operations, and from here, players will traverse to various other open world locations via chopper. And for those who do not know yet, yes, the game has been confirmed to be open world, or at least it has various large sandbox locations players can travel to by helicopter. If you want to get an idea for how large these areas can be, vehicles will be present so that players can get around certain areas faster. And also look at the scale of the environment just based on this footage, and this is probably just one of those various locations. Also, the codec returns, as you can tell by the classic sound, and you can also see Snake going all Sam Fisher with those goggles, and then the big reveal. But as you guys may be able to tell from this dramatic zoom, the guy doesn't really resemble Solid Snake all that much. He actually looks a hell lot more like the old big boss we've seen throughout the Metal Gear saga. And in fact, if you've played Metal Gear Solid 4, he looks just like him, except maybe a little younger. So this scene right here is honestly the final nail in the coffin that this is a Peace Walker sequel. And is it just me, or does Snake here look like that Russian dude from Lost, Mikhail? Now, a lot of people are thinking that we're going to be playing as an old big boss because of the gray hair. This is not true, ladies and gentlemen. Hideo Kojima himself addressed that the reason his hair and beard appeared to be gray is because of the Fox Engine's powerful lighting system. His hair is actually brown. So yeah, he's an older big boss, but he's not old. And of course, classic Snake with the "kept you waiting, huh?" To which my answer is, hell yeah. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the story portion of things and a bit of the gameplay. Everything else you can sort of see for yourself in the footage, like the amazing graphics and the perfect transition from cinema to gameplay, the scale of the open world locations, etc. One thing I want to point out is how different this game feels. I don't know how to explain it, it's just a lot more cinematic, and something about it reminds me of the game Battlefield 3 with the electronic music, and there's a bit of a Sam Fisher mixed in there with the goggles. The footage is Metal Gear, but it seems to have a new flavor to it, which I'm really excited about. But anyways, that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments below, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on this amazing looking title. Also, stay tuned for news updates of other AAA titles, along with some of the game cinemas that I have planned for the future once my semester is finally over and I can finally just release myself from the shackles of school. Anyways, thank you very much, and Die Young out.